I want to reiterate something Val said this morning about the Legos. I think that is an absolutely wonderful ministry if you guys want to jump on board with that. I know when Danny was in the hospital this past summer when he had his procedures done, they handed him some colored washable markers and said, here, draw on the beds. So that was all they had at the time. And they do like to give the kids something to do because sometimes they're sitting there for hours waiting to go in, and then whenever they recover, they still aren't allowed out of bed yet. So that is an excellent opportunity. Thanks, Val, wherever he went to. Over in the corner, maybe. Thank you for letting us know about that. That's a great opportunity. All right, we're going to start this morning by reading from our Dinosaur Devotions book. Oh, yes, sorry, I forgot. If you guys want to join me up here, I'd love to have you. That way you can see a little bit closer what's going on. Come sit out here by Danny, or there's some chairs over here. If you want to come sit on the floor, that's fine too. Make yourself at home up here. That way you can see up close what I've got to show you today. So we're reading Dinosaur Devotions right here, yeah, by Michelle Medlock Adams, illustrated by Denise Turu, published by Tommy Nelson Publishing. 1 second. All right. If you're too close, then you can't see either. Okay. Weighing as much as 10 African elephants, the Argentinosaurus, did I say it right? Okay, the Argentinosaurus was a gigantic plant-eating dinosaur, one of the largest dinosaurs to have ever lived. It's hard to believe this enormous dinosaur came from an egg the size of a beach ball. How big is a beach ball? That's not a beach ball. How big's a beach ball? Yeah, about like that, right? Yeah, depending on what size it is. If that's true, the baby dino would have had to have grown 25,000 times its original size before it was full grown. Some scientists believe it would have taken 15 years for this slow-growing dinosaur to reach its adult size. You see, some things take a long time to grow, but they're totally worth the wait. It makes sense that the Argentinosaurus would have taken longer than other dinosaurs to grow to its adult size. It was one of the biggest creatures ever. One day you may be a spiritual giant, a person who will do impressive things for God and make an enormous impact for heaven. But perhaps you're not quite ready yet. God is growing you up, inside and out, to mature you into the person He can use to change the world. And you can help in that process by spending time praying, reading the Bible, memorizing Scripture, and going to church. And just singing praises to God is a great way to grow. You may be slow growing now, but take heart. God is taking His time with you, and that's a gigantic blessing. So here's a picture of an Argentinosaurus next to 10 elephants. And did you know that the Argentinosaurus was as long as a football field is wide? That's pretty big, isn't it? You know how big a football field is? Yeah. Well, you have an idea, right? Like bigger than this room. It's huge. Big dinosaur. Yeah. How many of you have ever planted a seed and watched to see what happens? Yeah, a couple of us. You saw a video of it? Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, if you've never done it yourself. 1 Corinthians 3:6-8 says, I planted the seed, Apollos watered it, but God has been making it grow. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. The one who planted and the one who waters have one purpose. All right, can you guys see my seed? A little bit? It does look like a little stone. Can you see it? This is actually really big for a seed. Some seeds are so super tiny that I wouldn't even be able to hold it in my fingers. This is a big seed. What happens when we put this seed in the dirt and it starts to grow? Can anybody kind of explain the process? Go ahead, Connor. It'll turn into that you can see in my basket, right? You're not wrong. Anybody else want to give us a little bit more in-depth explanation as opposed to what's in my basket? All right. So when you first plant the seed, it starts to grow. And the first thing you get are teeny tiny little sprouts. And these are actually kind of bigger sprouts. They start off even smaller than this. So they start to grow, and they're tiny little sprouts. And then over time, with sun and water, and, well, I was going to say rain, but rain and water are the same thing, right? With sun and rain, the plant starts to grow, and it gets a little bit bigger. Right? And then we give it more sun and more rain and more time, and then the plant gets even bigger. Now, this one is not full grown by any means. It's just the biggest one I had in my house right now. What's that? Oh, it's in an Easter basket because it was from Easter. And it has little Easter eggs on the side I forgot to take out. You did see that. Now, even this plant will continue to grow if we give it more sun and more water. Now, if I stuck it in the closet, it would die. But as long as we're feeding it, as long as we're taking care of it, it's going to keep growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger. It could be a giant. I don't know. I don't know if there is such a thing as a giant violet, but, we'll see. I'm not sure what this one is. But they'll get bigger and they'll grow. Our Christian life is a lot like these plants. When we hear about Jesus, that's somebody planting a seed. And the more we learn and the more we grow, the more we learn, and it helps us grow. God helps us grow. And then one day, God decides our seed is ready to sprout. And that's the day we believe in Jesus and we accept him. And our seed sprouts. And then we learn more, and we go to church, and we spend time with our Christian friends. And our plant gets a little bit bigger. Right? We grow. We learn more about Jesus. And we keep growing, and we keep growing, and we keep growing. We never, ever stop growing and learning about Jesus. And I'm going to pick on Mr. Chuck and Miss Connie back there. Do we ever stop learning and growing about Jesus? Nope. Our whole life, we always do that. All right. Our memory verse this week is 1 Corinthians 3:7. Neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. Can you guys say that with me? 1 Corinthians 3:7. Neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. Good job, guys. I'm going to dismiss you guys if you want to go downstairs to class. Moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, if you have not already signed the kids in, there are QR codes. There's some in the back of the church. There's some out in the foyer. They're on the hallway on the way downstairs. If you wouldn't mind signing them in, we would appreciate that. And if you could get downstairs to get them picked up when church is over, we would appreciate that as well. Thanks, guys.